No, please, please. You. Oh, we're live, guys. I hit the wrong button, and what happened is usually we have the beautiful intro, and it comes in. I mean, we could still play it, but I mean, at this point, y'all family. They're like, woo, Hollywood kicks his kid in the face, and we back, and D-Lo did that shit, and acknowledge me and all that shit, and we tired, me and
Don't let first of all,
my man Monday here. We've been
wait
on
a
a
minute.
tour of VA.
First of all,
I'm gonna lump you in it.
don't lump me
Okay.
into nothing. Number one. Okay, so let's get something straight. All right.
So let's tell them what we talking about. Let's tell them
All
what we
right.
talk about.
So for those of you
First,
for
we had
for those of y'all that know or don't know, me and Jason both went to high school and to college together. We went to the illustrious IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth,
and so did
Virginia,
Hollywood, but he went to just high
and
school. Yeah,
they go Hollywood too. And then me and Jason also attended the Norfolk State University.
very nice.
Well, starting in October,
Mm.
this time of year is homecoming season, especially for HBCUs. It's a big deal. It's a kind of a big deal. All the HBCUs have these big, grandioso homecomings. Some of the HBCUs have nicknames for your homecomings, like Howard's. I forgot. I think they're just called the Mecca. A&T called their homecoming GHO, aka Greatest Homecoming on Earth. We
Yeah, I
have
mean they're not relevant, so I
Norfolk. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but Norfolk State has our homecoming, and our
I
homecoming
am.
is not your typical homecoming. Also with
Mm.
our high school is like one of the oldest black high schools in the country. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're like the fifth, fifth or
I
sixth.
heard second.
Might be, I don't know, oldest black high
I don't
school
know.
in the country, and
Yeah, second, but
our homecomings
mm.
are all basically almost on par with going to a historically black college. Well, let's just go ahead and say it. Like the first week in October, I was out of town. I went to a game which happened to be Tennessee State's homecoming. Had a good ass time. The following week, Jason, we it was our high school's homecoming. Me, Jason, and Bunch. I see Norcom. It was a kind of a big deal for us because it was our 25th anniversary class
Oh shit.
reunion.
Hmm.
25th class reunion.
God damn.
However, I did not attend because I had other prior engagements. Jason went down
And Bunch gonna go
to
with it. Yeah, other prior engagements as well. He
yeah,
couldn't
and
go.
Bunch he had prior
So it's just
engagement, but
me.
then so Jason went down there, and from all the pictures and from what everyone has told me, showed his complete yellow ass down there at homecoming
Listen,
for IC Norcom
listen.
High
I
School.
had a plan. Listen,
I just
I
want to
had a
say one more
plan.
thing before you go.
Mm,
I've
mm.
never seen that many pictures of Jason with his tongue sticking out just behind me. Ah! And shit.
We need to
Like
change the intro then. We need to change the
right.
intro.
Yo, D-Lo,
I was
he took
channeling D'Lo.
no, he took your place, D-Lo. My man it was so many pictures. A bunch. Am I
So
lying?
listen, what had
On
happened?
social media.
Clear,
What ha-
clearly,
what? Ha-
clearly, you needed to save some of that energy for the bedroom.
oh,
Oh, what the
oh,
okay.
that
But
took a dark
but
turn.
yeah, hold
It
on,
ain't
hold on.
no dark
Let
turn.
me
You got your tongue out like that. Please your
so
wife, nigga. Please your wife.
okay,
Who said she ain't please? I I ain't get
so
build
anyway,
up
hold
the
on.
tongue muscles. Mhm.
You breaking up here.
Anyway,
Wait,
I
hold
want.
on before you go. So you had
Mm,
that our high school homecoming. And then the following week, Norfolk State University had their homecoming. So Jason decided to be an animal and go all out at both homecomings. Me, I just did, I took a week off in between. I didn't go to high school, but I did go back down to Norfolk State, and I did, kind of I let loose down there, and then on top of that, last weekend was my birthday weekend, and I
Happy
just
birthday, belated.
thank you, sir, thank you, and
Yeah.
I cut loose too. But let's get back to Jason, y'all. Jason acted
So
a
I had a
purity
plan.
ass
Listen,
2 years in a row,
yeah.
2 weeks in a row. Pardon.
Not 2 years. I had a plan that I was just going because in our reunion I had the grill and all that shit. I had to do that on Saturday, so I was like, I'm gonna take it easy that Friday. But then you see people, and then people offer you stuff, and then you buy stuff, and so the
What service
rapper,
did you
What
offer?
stuff are we
Mr.
talking
Cheek,
about here?
Yeah, what was offered? Is that why you
um,
had your tongue out?
we
What
don't
was
need to
offered?
discuss that on air. There were a lot of spirits in the building. I Mr. Cheeks was performing from the Lost
Who?
Boys. I have no
Mr.
recollection of
Cheeks.
that. Mr. Cheeks, yeah, you too young
D'Lo
for that,
like, who the
D'Lo.
fuck is that? I'm
D'Lo.
I
sorry.
thought it
You
was
know Mr.
What
Jason's
is
Cheeks?
that?
alter ego
No.
or something. Like Mr. Cheeks
Mr.
came out.
No.
Cheeks.
He said, "Who the fuck is Mr. Cheeks?"
Cheeks.
It's a hip hop group from the
Yeah,
late
Lost Boys. Come
The
80s,
on,
early
Lost
'90s.
D-Lo.
Boys, yeah.
Okay.
Come
The
on,
Lost
D-Lo.
Boys. And
D'Lo's
Mr.
The mix
Cheeks
on
was
25.
that
like,
Leave him
level
alone.
two.
I'm
The
only
mix. Come
23 years
on.
old, so I don't know what you guys got to keep me up with these references.
he said, what the fuck? Like, he thought that
Who
was
the
Jason.
fuck is
Hey,
Mr.
Yeah,
I
Cheeks? What
thought
kind
that's
of
where it was
porn shit
going.
is
You know,
that?
we started with the tongue out, and then Mr. Cheeks came out later on. Like I
It
just
was a
thought
progression.
it was a
I'll give you
progression of
that.
the night.
It was building. Yeah. So yeah, ill advised. The homecomings in a row. I was completely demolished, and it was. But I had a great time. Both were great times. Had a great time in Norfolk State. I attended a couple of events. Um, I will say this, and Monday we've talked about this. It is just too many damn people that come. I'm hearing 40, 60,000
all right.
were
I got
at Norfolk
so
State's homecoming. It is too
these
damn big.
so these were the numbers that were told to me. Were the official number for people that were at the game. Who actually went inside the stadium and was at the game. The official number was, I believe, 24,000 plus people
Game.
there for the
Mhm.
game. Talking to one of my boys down there who was a cop and he was working it. The unofficial number total on campus was anywhere from 45 to 50,000 people in a concentrated.
God,
But
that's too
just
many
like,
goddamn people.
but like
Yeah,
it
It's
was,
too
too
many
much.
goddamn people.
it
It
was a
was it
lot
was
of people.
overwhelming, and it was
It
hot. It was so that day.
And on top of that, it was unreasonably hot in October. Because the day of homecoming, it was like 81. The whole like
Unbearable.
weekend, it was like in the 80s down there or whatever, and it was unreasonably hot. So then black folk, we draw heat, and it was anywhere, like I said, from 45 to 50,000 people.
Mhm.
It got to a point where the cops
And
basically
then
was like,
motherfucker.
"Let's start breaking this shit up." And
Yeah,
these
y'all just
motherfuckers,
go home.
yeah, they started driving their cars through the tailgate area, just trying to get people to peace out and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
we fuck the police. We don't give a damn. Folks stayed anyway. I mean,
They were
some
tearing.
of the,
They had around the perimeter of the area that most people like to tailgate. They knocked that shit down. We got for ain't gonna show y'all, but
yeah.
it it was a time. But what you guys do? We have not for about 3 weeks, and
Mm.
we've been doing. What's been going on with y'all?
What's
Y'all
up with
two.
you, D-Lo?
Man, if you fix your internet, maybe we can answer your question.
I ain't gonna lie,
Oh
JC.
shit.
You've been
Yeah,
stuttering like a bug the whole time.
yeah.
Like
Oh
Like,
Lord.
our
Shout out
Jake
to
has been.
Eugene over there.
I need to
Yeah.
fix it. My bad.
this nigga, yo.
Yeah, your internet is real. Your internet is real hacksaw Jim Dugginish right there. I just want to say.
Oh Lord.
Mm, just give us tongue signals, nigga, since we can't understand you.
Oh.
All the pause.
God dang.
Yeah.
But
What about
what's
you?
what's been going
Yeah,
on
what
with
y'all been
y'all?
up to, man? Yeah.
Ah man, just chilling. Like work and just spending time with the wife
Mm-hmm.
and several different
Why you say?
situations.
Mm.
I mean,
Russ just went, just like,
when he said just working and spending time with the wife, I'm like, damn, that's the two most stressful things in your life.
No comment. No comment.
All the comments, facts.
D-Lo's like, I love my wife. She is the apple of my eye. The green in my coffee.
Oh,
I love my wife too, but damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's the month of October. Let's just say, on my behalf, has been a time had along with other things that's popped off. More work responsibilities put on my end. Which is cool. Which is cool for the most.
That's a good thing. That means you're
Yeah.
an important guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, straight shout out to that and everything, and working in. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know me working in television. This is the kind of like the time of year where a lot of people be off on vacations and stuff like that, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we gotta start. We doing some pre-recorded stuff and everything. So I've been, putting in some work. Doing that, putting in some stuff with that way on those certain holidays and certain other days. It's not. The workload isn't as crazy as it normally would be. Don't matter.
Are you busier because the strike ended?
Oh, they ain't got shit to do.
Does that even affect you already?
That ain't got shit to do. They ain't got shit to do because I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that union. I'm a part of a union, but I'm not part of that union. Also too, like the writers' strike thing.
Well,
Like
you do more live TV, so that doesn't.
I'm on the production side,
yeah.
Right? And like apparently, from what I found out, our producers who do writing and stuff are part of that union, but because it's more dealing with television and not, with news to say the least, and not like shows and shit like that, they really ain't take part. None of the local stations or none of the TV stations or anything took a hit in that matter like that. But no, I don't have to worry about that. If y'all hear anything about like production strikes and stuff happening, that might be one of my. That's when you be like, "Hey man, you good? Yeah, well, you'll see."
Podcast,
need that food,
but free every day.
Right.
That's every single day.
6:30 a.m. and p.m. work for me.
Right, for real. So yeah, no, man, but but as Drake and Future once said, life is good.
Oh shit, they said a lot of shit. Well, I want to bring that up and kind of tie what you've been going through and what has been affecting the WWE. Crown Jewel was last Saturday.
Yeah,
and because of the strike, Super Cena is not so super last Saturday, and he lost against. I want to talk about that first.
He ain't been super in like 5 years, man.
He has not. He's been losing, and that's fine. He's giving back to the business, but he was defeated by Solo.
Yeah.
You could tell he gave a shit about the match because compare that match with what did he face at WrestleMania again?
Was it Theory?
Yeah, compare that match to this one. Like you could tell Cena gave a shit about trying to put Solo Sikoa over as a monster.
As a monster. Yeah, I actually caught the very end of that match. I actually caught it when Cena was sitting up and Solo was about to give him a spike when he was sitting up, and I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And I was just like, "Oh!" And then they was just like, "Yeah, this is like so many spikes he's caught." And I was just like, "Yeah, he's done.
Like 20 Samoan spikes."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's done.
Time to go back to fucking Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
like
Peacemaker.
Seriously, like ever since Cena lost the Firefly Funhouse match, he hasn't really won a match of significance in the WWE since.
Was that even a match of significance? The Firefly? I mean,
I don't even think he's won a match.
Stop it.
May he rest in peace.
Stop it.
Other than a tag match. He ain't won a singles match.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't. I mean,
all.
I think maybe one singles match on one of the shows, like SmackDown or something
No,
like that.
because he's wrestled tag. He wrestled the tag match last year.
Well, whatever.
So,
He beat Jimmy Uso,
he ain't even
right? Didn't he?
and then he was like, "Yeah, this is my first time wrestling," and it was a tag match. But he ain't wrestled singles matches like that at all. He makes appearances.
Yeah, and you funny, D-Lo.
It's horrible.
You funny because
Another, to me, I mean, I didn't watch Crown Jewel, and I never do. But another, kind of big, breaking news that happened out of that: Logan Paul defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. For the U.S. title in 24 hours. He desecrated the title.
Hey, I tell you one thing, y'all lucky I don't have a belt right now because I'd have came on this podcast and met with the damn belt.
Yeah. The champ is here.
Strategically placed.
and that would have been.
I ain't gonna lie. I would act as just like
that would have been my
Paul.
last appearance on this show.
Not with the U.S. belt though. Like with the U.S. belt, nah. Like if it was the IC
I want
belt,
the U.S. belt right by my balls. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, this guy. I'm a fan now. I'm on the Logan Paul that's because the next person that gets the belt, they're gonna always think about it. Like Logan Paul.
You know why? You know why? Because everything Logan Paul was doing, that's basically how Jason was acting those 2 weeks, them back-to-back homecoming.
Like a pure degenerate.
Pure asshole.
Hey, I love it.
I was just watching pictures, like y'all have no idea. I was just looking at pictures online, and like you just see, like you just scroll through, like okay, cool, the back. This Jason.
I would just say, thank God I'm not in shape because I definitely would have done some shit like that. So
yeah,
it was rough. It was rough. What do you guys think about somebody that doesn't even watch wrestling ask me about this? And to me, that always, I'm like, that proves, they all this, goodwill that they put behind Logan Paul and building him up, I think is working out very fucking well, to go outside of the normal, wrestling fan. A lot of wrestling fans don't like it. I fucking love it, but I could be wrong.
I still don't know what him and his brother are famous for. I know they're YouTube
for being famous.
They're YouTube guys or whatever. I still have no idea. You know what I'm saying? What the hell they're famous for? Logan Paul. He gave my respect. When he first got into wrestling, and I was like, why are we bringing this motherfucker into wrestling,
right,
or whatever? And then he was at that WrestleMania, and he actually started performing in the ring. I was like, oh shit, this dude actually doing something. He act like he can't, he cares about it, because you got to remember the year previous, Bad Bunny came in, and at that point we was like, yo, Bad Bunny's the best like non-wrestler who's ever been in WrestleMania. And that Logan Paul is completely like smashed that shit, basically, doing matches and stuff. And I thought that maybe that was just going to be a one-off thing. And no, I mean, they keep bringing him back. He's even had a title shot against Roman, and stuff. And now they have a mid-card title.
Look, what's cool about him is that not just him coming in and being a celebrity doing it. He doesn't have to do gimmick matches. He can do a regular match.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that just steps it up even more.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
he still does a buckshot lariat better than cowboy shit. Not to dunk on him, but he's good. The boy good. He's got a natural ability.
Also, he saved Rey Mysterio's life in that match.
Everybody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about that.
Speaking of that, maybe he shouldn't have saved his life, because obviously Rey Mysterio is a horrible person. Like, we always like, oh, why is everybody turning on Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio has got to be a horrible person. Everybody turns to him. We should have known
his best friend, his son.
It ain't Dominic's fault. It's Rey's fault. Ray seems like the type of dude that makes a whole bunch of promises to a whole bunch of people and don't follow through on shit. So they turn on his ass, and then he's the fucking victim. Ray's a horrible person. Ray, look, Ray, if you ever see this clip, I don't give a damn. You better go apologize to every fucking body.
Maybe he should have let you. Okay, so let's talk about
let's unpack that.
Let's talk about that real quick.
I'm gonna be honest, he's not wrong.
So he lost the match because
Tell him where you telling lies.
So he lost the match because Logan Paul pulled out some brass knuckles, and then Santos Escobar and the rest of LWO came out
Whatever.
and like kind of distract the stuff, and Santos kind of like made a mistake and left the brass knuckles on the ring apron, and Logan Paul still used them to knock Ray out and win the title. But here's my problem right here. This is where we're going. I was like, so Carlito who has been known to be a complete asshole in his past, with the whole I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool and stuff, all the stuff that he's done. I mean, let's not forget, this dude hired a guy to stab John Cena so he can become the U.S. champion. And so this guy comes out and convinces Rey Mysterio, hey, yo, he's the problem right there.
Yep.
Santos Escobar, who basically...
That's why I told you, Rey's terrible. It didn't take much convincing either.
Right, and on top of that, there really wouldn't be no LWO if it wasn't for Del Gato El Fantasma, because that was the group right there, and he just basically went to them and took over. Yeah, y'all ain't that no more. Wear this shirt, you LWO, and we're gonna bring fine ass Selena Vega into this. And like Santos is like, my man, I've been here since the beginning. This is what we do. You're listening to this motherfucker right here who just came. So I can get it. And then Ray always kind of like gives the what I would love out of this is for Filthy Animal Ray to come back just one time. He still have his mask on, but I
don't want to see Rey Mysterio wearing FUBU.
Hey man, whatever. Filthy Animal, I'm good. Filthy Animal Ray was where my dogs at? What's the call of the soldier? Hootie hoo!
Hootie hoo!
Oh my god! What a time to be alive!
Why was Disco Inferno in that?
Billy Kidman.
Right. No.
What?
He was called.
What did you say?
And they spelled his name like Cisco, but it was D-I-S.
Disco Inferno.
Yeah, it was Disco. Yeah. Oh, you don't remember that, Jason? When he was in the Filthy Animals?
I blocked that from anything related to Disco Inferno. I put a mental block up there.
They had him in the Wolf Pack. They had him in Filthy Animals. Like all the cool groups.
He was the whore of WWE.
Yeah.
WCW.
Yeah, he was right, because when he was with the Filthy Animals, they didn't call him Disco Inferno. They just called him, it's Disco, and they spelled his name like Cisco, D-I-S-Q. It was the funniest shit.
That was nothing but Conan. Conan did that ghetto shit.
Conan, and you know what's even more?
That used to be my dough. I liked him.
You know what's even more funny?
Promos.
Conan reps Mexico so hard, but this motherfucker's Puerto Rican.
So hard.
Which is even more funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Phil,
look at his...
Like these stupid ass
Filipino in
I don't even know. You know what?
It would be like having a Filipino in a group with Latin Mexicans, right?
Hold on.
It doesn't work.
He might not even be Puerto Rican.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that these days.
He might be just Cuban, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he wasn't like... Conan is not like...
He's
Mexican.
Cuban.
Yeah, he's Cuban. That's right, yeah.
You are what race and thinks you are. For the latter part of if he thinks Raymond Ramon, whatever they said he was, that's what you are. So.
Can I say
Razor was Cuban.
Can I say another thing too?
What's that?
LWO, they still shorter than Damage Control's group now.
Hollywood.
Bailey was towering over Oscar, Io, and Kairi Sane, and they still taller than LWO. Fucking crazy.
I mean, shoot. Damage Control taller than...
I don't know what the fuck to do with Oscar.
Carmelo Hayes will fit.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
I knew it was coming. That this train is never not on time.
And Grisham. Grisham is the original midget.
He's a pet. Put him on his leash.
Leash. They can walk him.
Y'all need Jesus,
Yeah.
especially
gonna walk
D'Lo.
through.
I
Put him,
did.
put him in that teacup ride at Six Flags instead of roller
Oh my
coaster.
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. Last thing that happened, of significance, for Crown Jewel was LA Knight.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man.
I
by
just
your
want to say
tribal
one more. I
chief
want to say one
after,
more.
guess what? Outside interference by the bloodline. Haven't
I
seen that
do.
one
I
before.
do want to say the funniest thing that Ron Reigns said about LA Knight, and LA Knight had no comeback for it. He was like, "He said you a redneck version of my cousin." I said, "Oh shit."
that was lit. That was very funny.
Roman Reigns called
Too.
LA Knight. He said, "You a redneck version of my cousin."
Oh,
He
shit.
fried his ass. Yeah, that was
It
funny.
was. You know what though? That was a pretty decent match though, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It was a decent match. I mean, I don't think realistically anybody thought LA Knight is going to win.
No.
You know what's crazy? Everyone, I think ever since not Jimmy, but Jay didn't win the title after, WrestleMania and everything like that, I think people were still saying like, oh, 40 is going to be it. It's going to be Cody or somebody or whatever. I think these niggas might be trying to have him break Hogan record, because they mention it so much. They mention it a whole lot and everything. And I'm like, yo, this dude about to be champion
when
for
would
another
that be?
year and a half.
Another year and a
A
half.
couple of days
Another-
after WrestleMania, I think, like a month or something.
No. It's
No,
like
we're talking years.
it's like
Yeah, I think
another.
it's 2
It's
years,
like
ain't
another
it?
2 years or
2
something.
more
Like,
years.
if I'm not mistaken, it's like 2025.
Oh
This thing
hell
is.
no.
If
Hell
I'm
no.
not-
I'm gonna just say this:
fuck.
if Roman Reigns walks out of WrestleMania still the champion, I'm gonna stop watching WWE for the foreseeable future.
I mean, hey, look, I done already stopped watching Raw, so if the motherfucker's still champ after WrestleMania, then that goes SmackDown.
Like, there is
Down
no
goes
way you can keep
SmackDown.
the belt on this guy any longer than it's done. Like, let Cody
been
win and let him
done.
do his thing, and that's it.
It's been
and,
done.
and I'm gonna tell you what hurts it. If this was back in the 80s and the early 90s,
a different
cool.
time.
But the thing is, we have so much wrestling content. Me and Jason talked about this a while. It's like damn near 8 hours of content
It's
in a week.
overwhelming.
And then on top of that, when you have a pay-per-view, that's 12 hours, possibly 12 hours of content, you know what I'm saying, in a week.
Even there.
Yeah, and it's like you see, and like I guess they're trying to make it seem like, Roman don't he's not on every week or whatever. Yes, but it's still thrown in our face that he's the champion, and we know that because we have so much content that's on TV, on TV every week. So yeah,
it's just like they're trying to break a record that should not be broken because it's a different time and age. If it was the same way it was back then you could get away with having a long title reign like that because it wasn't as much exposure, so that when it came on, you're like, okay, then it's not, but you got, like you said, all this fucking content each week. So it's like you're throwing it in our face that this dude's the champ, but he ain't never there. So it's making the title feel like it's not even making it feel like it's important anymore. It's making it feel like the title's worthless because he ain't never there. And then whenever he wins, it's always interference. Like it's the same old script every single time. So it doesn't.
He should have been able to beat LA Knight without interference. I don't know. I mean,
he should
I'm
be able
not
to
a
beat
big LA Knight
somebody
fan.
without
He shouldn't have beat
interference.
nobody.
Yeah,
somebody.
So question.
Somebody. He shouldn't have been able to beat him without.
So Hogan is the last stepping stone, right? Because he's already passed San Martino. Am I not mistaken?
I thought it was Backlund.
Right.
It was Backlund, but they ain't mentioned Backlund though. They
okay, and they keep talking Hogan. Okay, I'm looking at it right
there.
Okay, go ahead. Where are we at?
So they're saying he would pass Hogan September 12th, 2024.
Yeah. Okay. So a few months after WrestleMania.
If he was to pass Backlund.
No, that's after SummerSlam.
Yeah, if he was to pass, if he was to pass Backlund, my nigga, 2026, July 6th, 2026. If he passes,
I don't know if they're that crazy, but for sure they're going to do Hogan if it's just September, and like, we'll just give. They're going to give Cody the Raw belt, the Seth belt, I think that's where they're going with.
Mm-hmm.
But what about Damien?
The
Who Damien?
participation trophy belt.
I think they're gonna screw over Damon, and I think he's gonna lose that. I think something's gonna come up where they're gonna put the money in the bank on the line and something. He's gonna lose it to somebody, and they're gonna try to cash it in on him. I really think
That is
going to
be
happen.
unfortunate.
And
That's
I
gonna
like
piss a lot of
and
people
I
off.
like Damian Priest or
Yeah,
like him
whatever,
too.
but it's like I don't think they want to take the belt off of anybody. If they do, they might take it off of Seth. They might take it off of
yeah.
Seth or whatever, but I don't know if they want to do that or not. You know what I'm saying? So we know he's not going to cash in on Roman.
Well, I think they holding off on Seth for a while because of his back, and they know once like he takes a break, he gonna take a break. So they trying to milk
He
him
gonna take
for
a
all
lot.
they got
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about somebody who I think is actually a good champion. Kind of switch over to AEW.
MJF.
MJ motherfucking F. He
hold
started
on.
Dynamite calling Tony Schiavone old fat prick. Man,
Hold on.
I died laughing, man.
Hold on. I'm gonna let
That
y'all
guy's
take
so
this
fucking
one.
funny.
I'm gonna let y'all take this one. I just want to say this. We talked about title reigns, like multiple times, and we talked about how people don't have good title reigns and everything, especially faces. Faces never have good title reigns because all their adversity comes before they win the title. So once they win the title, it's like nowhere to go but down once they get the title, right? So MJF is actually having like one of my favorite title reigns that I've seen over maybe probably the past 10 years. For the simple fact, it's been so much like change in it. Like nothing has been the same. He started out as a heel, then he kind of, was a tweener a little bit.
In between.
Then he kind of went full face. But even with that, it's the different types of challenges that he's facing during his title reign right now. And everything is fresh, everything is great. And I could literally see him being champion for like another 6 months, and I wouldn't have any complaint as long as things keep going the way they're going.
I agree. I think they're doing everything right with MJF. He's everything that you wanted a champion. He is. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like they usually book the faces horrible. They get corny. He's just as funny, just as edgy. He's still got the fans in the palm of his hand. Like he is doing everything right. It is interesting that he does have so many different. First, I didn't like it. Like he has so many people gunning for him. He has Samoa Joe. He has Wardlow. He has Switchblade. But to me, it's kind of working. It's just like what's going to happen is so much going on, and he's the centerpiece of the entire show. And honestly, I'm watching AEW for him and Swerve. That to me, that's keeping the lights on.
I like the fact that there's 4 or 5 different dudes going after him, because with WWE, it's always like, all right, Seth, your feud is with Nakamura, and this is going to last 2 months, and then all right, now after that's over, Seth, you're going to be fighting Chad Gable. Who I don't know. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
But here with AEW's, you've got 5 guys going after him, or 4, whatever it is, and that's the way it should be. Everybody should want the world championship and not settle for, the TNT title
belt.
that's held by one of the best wrestlers in the world, Orange Cassidy. It's everyone should be gunning for the biggest prize. My only thing is, I hope they signed MJF, because he says his contract is up like January 1st. So that's my concern.
Give him
that
all of the fucking money.
I have
it to him.
I have one question.
Go
though.
ahead.
Here's
Go
my
ahead,
one question. I think one thing
money.
that is kind of, I think my one concern with AEW about that is, who's going to beat them? It's like they're not really, they haven't built anybody.
Swerve.
Jason, I listen. I know you like Swerve. I do too.
Building him.
But I don't think they're building Swerve to beat MJF. I really don't. It's like I'm trying to.
Well, no, Tony.
If they were smart, they would.
It's the long game. It's the long game. You got to look at the long game. Even if it is Swerve, it won't happen for at least another like 4 or 5 months. So it's the long game. It's
And you
not
got
Swerve
time.
right now. He still got to
Right.
get through. See, I'm gonna touch on what both of y'all just said. Like, having the multiple people gun for him. I love that too, for the simple fact that they're not. It's not. MJF is beefing right now with Jay White, but you got Warlow watching, talking shit. Joe keeps interacting, say, "Hey, I got your back, but I want a title shot." It's not the point where these people are interrupting the feud. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not getting physically involved, where MJF has a match with Jay White coming up, but yet he has a match with Samoa Joe, a week before, the pay-per-view. We know this feud is coming. You know what I'm saying? They keep planting the seeds. The feud is coming. We know it's coming, but it's not interfering with what's going on, which makes it more interesting. So that's why I love that. So I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, but I was just saying, I
one. Okay,
go ahead.
I
I'm
got a
sorry. Go
name.
ahead, Pila. What's
I
that?
got what about Eddie Kingston?
Man, get the hell out of
Get
here.
out, get the fuck out of here.
Get the hell out of here with that. Get the hell out of
He
here with
is on. He's on the level of Cassidy, in my opinion. So they neck and shit. You know what? That brings me to another point that, and I love the way they're booking MJF. I love the way they're booking Swerve Strickland. He beat Penta, and he's continuing on his feud with
that. Hey, can
Cowboy
I say
shit.
that match was amazing?
That was, I didn't want to brush over that, but yeah, that match was really good. I mean, it was the match of the night, and it just everything when they balance out the funny, the plots that make sense, and the wrestling, that's their sweet spot. Not goofy shit, but when the
I
stuff
can
with
see it
MJ,
being
it's
Joe.
just meshing well. I think.
I can see it being Joe being the one that dethrones MJF, for the simple fact Joe relinquished the ROH title, and he's waiting. He's waiting
Can
for
we
his
talk
turn.
about that? Can we
I
talk?
just want to say this
Poor
about him
Keith Lee. Poor Keith Lee.
before I really I want it to be Joe. I do. The only thing is, I didn't like that they had MJF choke him out. I didn't like that. That's how he won the match. I'd have been cool if he would have got like a pin, but
Like a roll up or something.
like
Yeah.
a roll up or something like that, or else if when Joe had him in that submission, he was able to bridge up and got a pin. You know what I'm saying? Off of that and everything. I didn't like that. I honestly have always felt Joe was going to be the one to do it. I still think he might be the one to do it, but then again, it could be Adam Cole, because we still got to really figure out who the devil person is who stole his devil mask or whatever. As for Keith Lee and Joe,
Man,
so that was a good match too.
No,
That
It
was
was
a
a
really
great. It
good.
was a good match.
It was.
No.
However,
We ain't gonna do this, man, because I want to be positive.
I
And
know
the
I
first
did too.
thing when I saw that match and how it ended, I was gonna go on the biggest AEW rant that I could ever do, man, because the booking, it made no sense to do that. Like you didn't have to do Keith Lee like that.
Yeah,
Like, if
they
Joe was
took
gonna
4
vacate the
steps
belt,
forward, but 2 back
yeah,
with that.
if
I
Joe was
agree.
gonna
I
vacate the
agree.
belt, he could have beat somebody else and then vacated the belt. And then Keith Lee could have stepped in, whatever they're going to do tournament wise, or they're going to have like 2 people fight for it. Keith Lee could have been in that. Now it makes absolutely no sense for Keith Lee to be in any kind of television title match or tournament or whatever, after he was the last one to lose before Joe relinquished it and got choked out at that.
And Keith Lee is not young. He's not even
Yes, and
chunky. He doesn't
they've
look
been,
young.
that's the thing. They've been
He
building
needs
this
to
dude
pop down.
his past few appearances. They've been building him up like when he first came, like the monster when he first came. They've been building him up like that again. The limitless guy that's coming in and fucking people up. And now you do that? Come on, man.
Joe the King of
That was
Television.
the one. He well,
Look at this boy. I don't know what he's doing. He
and to
got
me
this
that
thing on his head.
diminishes
What are you
the
doing, Jason?
AWT title. Just like, whatever in the world.
I got you.
What the to me,
I
it
don't know
just
what the hell
diminishes the title too. He's just like, I don't want this, Well,
It will look worse if he it will look worse if he drops the title and then he still doesn't get the belt. Like, that's even worse. Like you just did that for nothing.
That's why I
I feel
said
like they booked themselves into a corner where
it
they're
should
gonna
be
piss
him.
people off.
But the thing about it is, it should be him. But then you got to let Warlow go first because MJF still has unfinished business with Warlow because Warlow was the one who fucking put him out. He put him out with what is it like a
I think
squash match?
Warlow was the last person to get a clean pin too.
Yeah, but he squashed him at that.
Yeah,
He squashed him. This was right after
he did
right
squash
before
him.
he
Yeah,
took his
that was
break.
right before his contract thing. Yeah. We'll see. They have many opportunities to fuck it up, but also many avenues to kind of keep it fresh and good. Like MJF is the MVP of AEW. I'm gonna tell you who's not. This may make Monday a little sad, a little
Orange Cassidy.
unhappy with me.
Orange
No,
Cassidy.
fuck him.
That fucking orange.
For wrestlers.
Oh God, he said Ric Flair.
How does that make it make sense?
I don't know what he said because
he said Ric Flair. That's all I heard was Ric Flair.
I didn't even hear a name. All I heard was hey,
Ric Flair.
All I saw, hey.
looking like Bernie Mac on the hey.
Ric Flair. He's not.
He was teasing me.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're not frozen now.
Am I still frozen?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Ric Flair signing with AEW. I get it, but I don't get it. I know this is Sting's last hurrah. It was a good pop. It's getting him in, but why?
I mean, it just depends on what they signed him to. Is he gonna fucking get in the ring again, or is he just gonna make appearances?
Jesus Christ, please don't.
I'm okay if he's just making appearances.
Yeah, I mean
here and there. Yeah, to pop the crowd, do a promo.
Yeah, but if he
wanna,
if he do another
MJF
chop,
Mike, I'm like, no, bro, no.
If that motherfucker do another chop.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it ain't making me mad. I'm just like, whatever. It's man, Rick.
I feel like they're making it.
Making
it like a bootleg WCW. When I see Rick and
I do agree they're kind of leaning into the old people a little bit too much. Like Big Show is wrestling.
Oh my God!
When he stood on that ramp, it looks
y'all
like
see
one of his legs
with his
look like
legs?
45 degrees.
So,
like it
yeah,
just
I was gonna say his legs look like backward K's. Like
he looked like he was doing the stanky leg when he was walking.
I thought I was tripping, man. I thought I was tripping. I said, "Yo, maybe that's a photo fuck up or something." I said, "This nigga knees ain't shot."
That nigga knees look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, yo. Like,
let that motherfucker rest. Like, please.
His knees look like he's stuck mid butterfly doing the butterfly like I was like he's going
a butterfly.
Butterfly. His legs are stuck in the part where your knees are like that and shit. Yeah.
Maybe they probably dusted him off so that Hobbs can do that big power slam or whatever it is that he's going to do.
Yo, you know what would make more sense if they'd have had fucking
he can
Mark
do that
Henry
and disappear.
mentoring him if he was doing this fucking his move and shit, man. Mark Henry teach him to be the real monster that he should be, man. But I don't know.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Before we move on, I want to give a shout out. Go ahead.
Y'all too. Y'all gotta stop with the Orange Cassidy hate. I know y'all don't like that nigga, whatever. But let's
never.
But you gotta be real.
Cradle man. To grave, never.
You gotta be be real. Like I said,
I'm on a Hollywood train, man.
The dude has not had a bad match. He
also hasn't had a good match.
What are you fucking crazy? What are you talking about, Jason? What are you talking about?
I don't enjoy his work. He's not shit. He's not what's Ogre?
It ain't for everybody.
My white princess.
It ain't for everybody.
Liv. She's not Liv Morgan. I ain't saying he that level, but no, I'm just not a fan.
Look, it ain't even the fact. It ain't even the fact that I hate him. I just hate how they book him, man. And my point is this: I'm glad he got a title run. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he deserved one of the lower card titles. One of the mid card titles. I think he deserved it from the work he has put in. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Jericho and everything like that. So I was happy he won a title. My only thing is how they booked him, the people he was beating all the time. And even with that being said, all right, he had his title run, but AEW's problem is they keep pushing their same favorite fucking people. Like, and the matches they have, the booking makes no sense because Orange Cassidy for the whole bunch of people, a lot of them being tag team people, which we knew wasn't gonna beat him in the first place. You got Penta, his brother, Nick, he's fighting all these tag team wrestlers who, they can wrestle singles wise, but they're tag team wrestlers. So we pretty much knew he was gonna retain those title, the title in all these title defenses. Now you get Jon Moxley who beats him. Jon Moxley did not need a title. You could have elevated somebody else. Jon Moxley is going to be main event regardless. You didn't need to bring a main event person in to beat Orange Cassidy. You could have elevated somebody else to beat him and not make him lose credibility because you're building that other person up as well.
Let me just say this. Let me say this though. I get everything you're saying, but a lot of stuff you're saying can go for what's going on in other organizations too. People, they're putting the same people they like in front. I think the Moxley thing was basically to kind of have him, to have him fighting like wrestling a credible person. And yeah, he lost, but now he's like on his redemption tour because he did a promo where he was just like, hey, he was like, I got this belt. This is the one, and stuff like that. I look at it almost like when Mikey Whipwreck beat Stone Cold Steve Austin in a singles match in ECW. That's when he was superstar Steve Austin in ECW. When he came over, everyone was like, "Oh, this dude's about to be the world champion," and he's taking on Mikey Whipwreck, who was the world champion. The motherfucker came out, wrestled in tights, knee pads, and a fucking like Twisted Sister shirt or some shit like that. And he went. I fucks with Orange Cassidy because he put the work in. And I have not seen a match from him since he's kind of stopped doing the stuff he was doing earlier on, and saying AEW with the whole lethargic being a sloth type wrestler, and he put on his matches. His matches have been solid good matches and good mid card matches. And I think that's where he is though.
I've never disagreed with you on that. Mm-hmm. I just hate the booking and the fact that again they brought in a main event guy to beat him and Jon Moxley. And even if you brought another main event guy in, it could have been somebody else who hasn't won a title or something. It didn't have to be Moxley. Moxley did not need another title. You don't have to keep going to Moxley when you want shit done. There's other people that can do it. And the fact that Moxley beat him. And then Moxley immediately start wrestling the same people that Orange Cassidy is already beaten. He's beating Ray Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So why is Jon Moxley fighting Ray Phoenix? And because of that stupid booking decision, Moxley gets hurt and loses. He has to lose the title because he's hurt. And then Ray Phoenix, somebody who wasn't supposed to be the champion in the first place is champion. And so you go back to Orange Cassidy and give him the belt back. Like, it just doesn't make sense, man. But
hey, man,
makes sense.
Whatever.
Jesus.
Whatever. Yeah, I mess with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, we know you do. That's okay. Moving on.
He taller than Carmelo.
Oh shit.
Speaking
of, anyone
speaking of Carmelo, can we get flowers for this guy right now?
Yeah.
Trick. Very compelling storyline.
Yes.
That's the only thing on NXT I check for is that, and if whatever Braun is kind of involved in. Do y'all really look at NXT? Do y'all look at NXT?
No.
Not a
I
single.
look at
No,
highlights here
yeah,
and there
me
just
neither.
to see what's
Nobody
going
does.
on.
Well,
but
actually, 800 people.
yeah.
Whatever they
Yeah,
put on
yeah.
Instagram.
Only
Well,
thing that
hey,
ever tickles my fancy
you
is
see they
what
moving to the
Beck and
CW,
Mello is
so
doing in Bronx.
Yo,
USA's like, yo, get this off
yes.
our network.
wrestling is down bad if it's on CW. Like, that's terrible.
Well, what are y'all feelings about?
I think that's terrible for
hold on, Jason.
WWE,
Hold on,
but it would have been great for NWA.
No, hold on though. But they said rumors are they said that CW approached Tony Khan about putting Ring of Honor up there.
Oh!
So I mean, what's y'all feelings of that? Like, because Ring of Honor could have been up there. They said a high level exec approached Tony Khan about putting Ring of Honor up there.
I feel like it depends on the money because I've read, according to my sources that I read on Twitter, that NXT is getting between $30 and $35 million a year from CW. If they offered Tony Khan the same thing for Ring of Honor, I don't know why he didn't take that.
Well, it says
And
here
still ain't got a deal
my
for it.
not so credible sources that Tony Khan did not pursue talks with CW as he refused to seriously entertain new deals for Ring of Honor until AEW TV rights are in play. I don't really know what that means.
I don't understand that. What does one have
Say
to
that
do?
again. Say
You
that again.
It says
Repeat that.
he refused to seriously entertain new deals for Ring of Honor until AEW TV rights are in play.
And I saw the same thing. But that makes no sense
So
because you're taking one company because you value the other one more. So why you got the other company in the first place?
I mean,
if he
I'm trying to figure out what that
same deal, I would.
Maybe he couldn't show AEW stuff because it's a completely different net conglomerate. He couldn't show AEW stuff, and his whole premise is like, well, I want to slide wrestlers between the two companies,
and that's part of the problem too. Stop sliding them and make a fucking Ring of Honor roster and make an AEW roster.
I can't disagree with that. Yeah, I don't get it.
Because at least you still have
that's true.
We don't have a station for both shows instead of one station, and you're trying to put people on that station who ain't got a fucking place to be.
Yeah. Because right now it's on YouTube, right?
That's the only place it's on Honor Club, which basically means you pay like $9 a month to watch ROH.
Yeah.
So
and I can go on the website and watch it for free.
So much wrestling for free. How does that make sense?
Exactly.
Because it's a lot.
What is that business model?
But it's a lot of, believe it or not, it's a lot of diehard Ring of Honor fans who live and die by that shit, and they're the ones spending the money, and it's not open for. I put like this for people who aren't really.
How many people is that? Like 10,000?
I mean, and it's a lot less too because some of the diehard fans don't like how it is now.
Yeah. Well, you're probably down to like 10,000, maybe. Okay, we say 20. Say it's 20,000. I mean, like, I don't get that business model. I don't get why. I always said this. I don't get why he bought Ring of Honor, other than the library. So Vince can get his hands on it.
Basically, what it was.
That's what it is.
I don't get it.
I mean, the library is more than anything. That's why Vince. Vince, after purchasing when he purchased WCW, he went and he purchased AWA. He purchased ECW stuff. He purchased
but it's
all
not
the
like
territory
it's
things.
not like Ring of Honor was the equivalent of WCW. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince should have created a WCW, but he didn't. He just combined them all together. Ring of Honor is not that. I mean, they have great programming, a lot of great wrestlers come from there, but it's not as popular. I mean, it was nowhere near, or Tony Khan just want to put Ring of Honor and build that up, but he wanted his new. I do want to say, okay, let's go ahead and just talk about it. Also, in talks with having a wrestling program was NWA. And rumor has it that they destroyed the bag, fucked up the bag, mishandled the bag because they had a fucking cocaine scene, snorted the bag. They had a cocaine skit that obviously,
What?
shockingly, didn't go over with advertisers. What the fuck
Oh,
is wrong?
what?
Is
But she
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
see
look
this.
at yeah, you got to
no.
see it. Look it up. Look it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
What?
I forget the yeah, and it was
Billy
a weird
Billy
opening
Corgan.
scene for NWA,
It was
and
the
they were
opening scene of the
sniffing
show.
cocaine
The opening scene
or
of the show,
substance.
which
Yeah,
means that probably was the most watched segment of the show.
of said show because they're fucking smoking, sniffing cocaine.
Wow.
And shockingly, CW's like, no, thank you.
NXT,
And they gave the
NXT,
bag to Vince McMahon, to Triple H.
I'm gonna just say
NXT.
this: that is worse than when Paul Heyman fumbled the bag in ECW when they hit the whole Tommy Dream being crucified, the crucified scene, and they because they was on the verge of getting a big television deal at that point, and Kurt Angle was there on the show, and they was getting ready to
That was a
sign
big
Kurt
angle.
Angle, and they basically did Raven straight up crucifying Tommy Dreamer, put him on a cross, put a barbed wire crown on his head and everything, and it was like Kurt Angle said, "Hey, if you show
I'm good.
me anywhere near this fucking shit, you will hear from my lawyers." They say the executives in the back were like, "What the fuck is this type shit?" Oh, what? Oh, motherfucker. Well,
Yeah. So apparently, I forget who's the new owner of in NWA. He's nice now.
Billy
Billy
Corgan.
Corgan.
I just sent
Billy
Corgan.
the
fucking Corgan.
cocaine spot in the group chat.
Oh yeah.
He's the
What in
yeah,
the
he,
world,
That
man?
cost them a 60. I mean, they weren't gonna get what WE was getting, but they probably cost 20, $10 million
Why they look like the
national
Glee? Why
exposure.
they look like members of Glee?
NWA Wizard, passer of the cob, Father James Mitchell. Wow, they really partying.
They're really partying. They sure are.
Well, they lost the match, but they seem to be having a pretty good time. Yeah. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, okay.
yep, that's
Let's
it.
just promote cocaine usage during our programming.
Good, good.
God,
What
they
the
don't
fuck?
deserve. They don't deserve to prosper.
Oh
I
hell
mean, it's bad
no!
enough they had Brodus Clay as their champion for
For like
a
2 years.
number of
They-
for 2 years.
What?
Holy shit! Yeah,
Who the fuck thought this was?
somebody that's been doing cocaine for years. That's gonna be Tony. Yeah,
And
it's
then
gonna be
these
Tony Khan
idiots,
in a couple of
the
years.
Glee Club commentating, talking about, I want to go to that suite. Like, what the? Nah, man.
I'm just making it
Nah.
1,000% worse. They could have played it off like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'd have just been like,
baby powder.
I'd have been like,
You could do
oh,
something.
like,
Ah,
yo, what the fuck?
yeah. So the last thing I wanted to, well, actually, there's two things, but we'll see. The one thing I wanted to talk about last was Vince McMahon. It's reported by TKO, the company that owns UFC and WWE. They reported that Vince McMahon sold $8.4 million worth of his stock in the company. And it seems, for all intents and purposes, that Vince is no longer in charge. That a Khan is, but not Tony Khan. It's not Vince. It's this new conglomerate company. I think, I don't know what you guys think. Is this, are they blowing smoke on? I mean, because Vince seems to elude all these different, hostile takeovers, but that sounds pretty serious. What do you guys think?
I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I don't think Triple H's WWE is any different than what Vince was doing. It's less bullshit, but like, for example, the Usos and Cody Rhodes are facing Judgment Day tomorrow, and I think I read they faced them on Raw 4 out of the last 6 weeks.
I wouldn't know.
It,
I don't watch.
it's just like they just doing the same matches over and over again. And all these motherfuckers are supposed to be wrestling in a cage match like 2 weeks
Yeah,
from now.
like
So
War
it's
Games
enough.
or something, right?
These dudes been feuding since August. Like, it is November. Like, what are we doing? Like, do y'all not have anything for Cody Rhodes to do? Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
Hold on. You know what's worse?
Go.
You know what's
No,
worse,
let
D-Lo?
D'Lo. No, let D'Lo cook.
No, hold
Let
on.
D'Lo
I'm gonna let
cook.
him go. I'm gonna let him go. You know what's worse? Jimmy Uso is probably gonna main event SmackDown again next week. Go ahead.
Jimmy Uso still hasn't hit a gym. Carmelo Hayes still hasn't gotten those lifts in his boots yet. But anyway, like I don't think Vince is involved in the day to day, but like it's not any different than what we've been seeing. It's the same shit every single week, every time. Like I've been watching Raw, not the whole show the last couple of weeks, but it always ends with Cody Rhodes running down the aisle and they're all fighting, and then the show ends. Like it's the same stuff every week. So if he's not in charge, I wouldn't know. But you know, I don't know. It's just
I
it's
think
the
he may
product
not
isn't
be.
any different. It's just a little bit more organized, but I don't see a big difference.
He may not be in charge, but I think he's being consulted on certain. Saying they'll
Yeah.
consult him on
I'm kind of
certain
okay
ones.
with that. Kind of.
I'm gonna say the only reason
Now
I'm
he's in
not
the
is because
mix.
the only reason I say I'm not is because
Mm,
you still have Vince lackeys that are working there, and they're going to
Right.
do
his
whatever
bidding.
Vince, saying do whatever
Mm.
Vince says or whatever. That's the only reason why I
Brother
don't.
Love.
Right, Brother Love is still there.
Brother Love
Goddamn,
is good.
Chris
the
Pritchard.
horrible director that they have. God, I can't think his name. I just motherfucking choke.
Kevin
Yeah, Kevin
Oh,
Dunn is.
Kevin
Saying
Dunn.
Kevin Dunn
Done
is
needs to
still
be done.
there. And then even the WWE version of Khan that's still Vince's guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
You know,
always rubbed me the wrong way.
right. So I mean, I just yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, wrestling, especially WWE, was going on such a good high. Probably the last, what I'm saying, the previous year and a half, but now it's just starting to get back to what the same old shit that we was getting before, pre-bloodline, pre-Roman winning, what I'm saying, the world title, where it's getting back to,
Antonio,
well, let's
it
just
never
drain this shit
changed.
on down.
And Antonio, it never changed. The only thing that happened was the bloodline. The bloodline
Oh, I
happened,
know
and
that.
it made us not see the other bullshit that was still going on because we were so wrapped up in the bloodline because that was
Right.
so good. It's still been the same bullshit.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely
The
has been.
bloodline was a big, huge ass band-aid, but that band-aid came off. It's off. It's scabbed. It's bleeding
Yep.
again. I
If
mean,
Vince really isn't in charge, I am curious to see what Triple H's vision is going to be from now, because this is basically Mania season at this point. Like
This
the
is
Rumble is
pre-main.
in a couple months,
Yeah, this is
so
pre-mania season. Yeah.
we're going from Survivor Series like these next 4 to 5 months. It'll be interesting to see what his vision is, because you know what is the vision?
This is why I didn't rant so much on AEW because for the bad stuff that I see in AEW,
mhm.
it's got so much great stuff in there that ain't on WWE. So to me, it's the more watchable, more entertaining brand to watch. So I wasn't gonna sit there and run them down,
Yeah.
like I wanted to when I saw how Orange Cassidy beat Claudio. But we're gonna leave that at that. So
Yeah.
Have
Well,
y'all read who the fifth people are going to be in the War Games?
no.
The
What are
fifth
some of the
person?
rumors circulating? I heard about the women, Becky Lynch.
Do
oh
y'all
my
want to
god,
know, or
of
y'all
course,
would just want to be surprised?
it's Becky.
What did you gonna say, CM Punk?
Go ahead.
So apparently Drew McIntyre is going to join the Judgment Day for the
Judgment
War
Day. I heard.
Games.
Yeah, I heard that.
And are you sure?
That would
What?
kind of.
Go ahead. Who?
No, go ahead.
This dude
Go ahead.
hears voices in his head. He's going to
Oh,
join
Randy.
Cody's team.
I heard that
Oh.
too. I heard both of those. But
They
at
need
the
to
at the end of
inject
the day,
Randy.
Randy gets a huge pop, but I still don't care.
Mm.
Let me
Damn.
tell you what, if Vince isn't in charge, there's going to be blood at this War Games.
That's let there be blood.
Well, it depends on if that's still a rule though, too. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a rule written in the
You
quote
can't have a
unquote.
cage match.
Bro, they've been doing it for the last about
They've
I
been
know,
doing this
but
for
it's
years.
like, what's the point then? Why
they've been doing it for the last 10.
just
they've
have
been
a
doing it for the
regular ass
last-
Survivor Series match then if there ain't gonna be no blood? Like,
Yeah,
y'all been
they've been doing
feuding
it.
since 2021. Like at this, like if y'all not ending this in blood, what is
For the
point?
pandemic.
Yeah. At this point, somebody got
Pandemic
to
ass
die.
battle.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got
They
to
better
die.
stop- you know what I'm saying?
Somebody
Somebody,
got to
you know what I'm saying? It's 4K. They gotta get it back in blood. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Cody may pay homage to his dad and just be bleeding on the way to the ring. Like already.
Yeah.
He's not
On
even
some
in the match.
Moxley, on
The
some
stuff
Moxley
pig.
shit.
He's gonna pull a
On some
Moxley and
Oh,
just,
you-
Look, I'm
just
on
start
my
cutting
Moxley
himself as
shit.
soon as he's
Man, if they start bleeding during War Games, Moxley gonna be like, ah! He gonna be watching that shit.
He
at
gonna be
home.
like, I'm coming back.
That nigga might come on AEW actually slit his throat just as like, ah! You're like, nigga, the fuck?
I'm hardcore.
Like,
And I
what is
will
that?
say,
Wow.
I will say I was disappointed on was it Rampage and Collision when I kept seeing the other girl up there instead of the remarkable Renee Paquette.
Yo, she is. You think she likes it up the butt?
Yes. And I
We
think
gonna end the
when
show.
she
We
get
just gonna
hey
end the
look,
show.
D-Lo, and I think when she's getting it up the butt, she's doing that. How she do her? Oh my god! When she
I think she does too.
Moxley, you nasty bitch! I know you be. Oh my god!
Now I have to mentally explore that because y'all just say stuff like that and just leave it, but my mind's gonna be lingering and thinking
Yep.
about it, and
Yep.
y'all horrible.
Jason,
They
you
both.
go watch Big Brother thinking about that.
Yeah, they both take it in the ass. They both take it in the ass.
Okay, Riddle. Calm down.
Moxley's like,
Wait,
everything
since we on
needs
it,
to bleed. Everything needs to bleed.
I was about to bring up
Holy
Timeless
shit.
Tony Storm. I'm not doing that to her.
Oh.
No, we just gonna end
Tony
it.
Storm probably does too.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the way she
We'll
was
see-
on that
we'll see y'all
announce
next
table?
week.
And Tony was just like, yo. When she
He
threw
was
the
like,
ass
her
in his
bottom
face,
is in my face.
he was like, yo, he was like,
we
you
run
try
it back.
Not yet it is, Tony. Not yet it is.
Hey, we done. We'll see y'all next
We
week.
ain't
Jesus
done.
Christ, help
We
me.
ain't